Sometimes, for some unexplained reason, some random NBA player gets super popular. Now, if life were fair, a player's popularity would be equally proportionate to how good he was on the court. Like, you know, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant were and are super popular, but were both all-time greats on the basketball court. But then sometimes you have guys like Brian Scalabrine or Lance Stevenson, who were never the best guy on their team, but for one reason or another became a fan favorite, often the most popular guy on their team. The exact definition of cult hero is a public figure who's greatly admired by a relatively small audience or is influential despite limited commercial success. There are no shortage of those in the NBA today, and in this video we're going to count down the top 10 cult heroes in the NBA for the 2019-2020 season. Now, this top 10 will be ordered in how justified their cult status is. Can we at least explain all the love that they get, or is it completely random? If I missed anybody, leave it in the comments below, or if you disagree with anyone who's on this list, let me know. Hey guys, it's Casey Kiernan, host of the AM Hoops YouTube channel. We're trying to grow this channel. Hit us with a subscribe. If you love the league in detail, check out the AM Hoops podcast 5 mornings a week. So our list starts at number 10 with Derrick Rose, and you can tell that this list is gonna anger some people, but that only proves how much of a cult following that they have. You say anything about their favorite player and they jump on you. Now, Rose is 10th on our list because obviously he's deserving of some of the love he gets. Of course, the youngest MVP ever, but the level of fandom is outrageous. But just listen to this story from his former teammate, Rip Hamilton.
I got an opportunity to play with Derrick Rose and Michael Jordan. Derrick Rose's following was just as big as Michael Jordan.
It's incredible.
So when we got in cities, and you know this, when we get in cities 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, there always used to be a line of probably about 100 people waiting at the bus just to get a snapshot, a picture, or autograph from Michael Jordan. When I got to Chicago and played with Derrick Rose, it was the same 100 people out there trying to get a handshake, an autograph, a picture from Derrick Rose.
And even after those Bulls years, he was often the most popular player on whatever team he was on, despite rarely being the best player. Of course, being LeBron's teammate on the Cavs is the exception. Now, he's a humble guy, one of the most loved around the league, and it's not fair that injuries ruined his trajectory. But does he deserve Michael Jordan-type love? No way. Number 9, Andrew Wiggins. Here's our first example of unfulfilled potential, which this list is chock full of. He was one of the first YouTube stars. And what gives guys like this a cult following is their potential. It's almost like we get bored with current greatness, and it's more exciting at times to think of who's the next LeBron James than just to love the actual current LeBron James. When he was at Kansas, a local writer said his made-for-basketball physical tools played a small part in others selling him as the next Wilt Chamberlain, Danny Manning, LeBron James, Greg Oden, Kevin Durant. You name a superstar, some magazine will link him to Wiggins. But what did happen to him? Instead of playing like LeBron James, he's more like James Posey. Well, not that bad, but the reality is he plays basically like a role player, but with the love and the contract of a superstar. Number 8, JAVALE McGee. Now, we can actually explain this one. McGee became immensely popular based on one thing.
A frequent nominee in Shaq and the Fool. Here's 3 boneheaded plays by my boy, JAVALE McGee. Post him up, JAVALE. Hold him off. Hold him off.
This is so mean. I remember thinking this was funny, but in retrospect, this is so mean to single out one guy like this. It's so bad, but so funny.
Where the hell are you going? You're an idiot.
Well, JAVALE didn't think it was so funny. We haven't seen JAVALE McGee on Shaqtin' anymore because, for one, they got in a huge Twitter beef. JAVALE told Shaq to stop, but not in a nice way. Then Shaq threatened to smack JAVALE. Then their moms got involved, which officially ended JAVALE McGee's time on Shaqtin' a Fool. Since then, McGee's had some really good moments on the court, including winning a title, but he is way more popular than he should be relative to his basketball skill, thanks to Shaq. Next up, number 7, Dion Waiters. How the hell did Dion Waiters get so popular that he had a song written about him? I mean, Dion Waiters is okay. He's been a decent role player on some really good teams, including LeBron James's Cavaliers. His current teammate Goran Dragic says he thinks he's so popular because of his personality, which basically means he never shies away from a good soundbite or a bad shot.
3 seconds left for 3 in the win. Yes!
But that confidence, though, that confidence is great there, but it can also look like this. Yeah, the fact is Dion Waiters has the confidence of an all-star with the game of a bench player, and there's something that people just love about that. Sometimes, though, he crosses the line off the court. He called his coach out after Eric Spoelstra gave playing time to rookie Tyler Hero over him, basically saying, oh, I would have won too if I had LeBron, Wade, and Bosh. You just don't say that. Then came another suspension after the weed gummy incident, then a third suspension in December. He may be a cult hero for his personality, but that personality might drive him out of the league. Number 6, DeJounte Murray. Again, this is one of those where I can just feel the comments already being written, hate toward me for putting DeJounte Murray on this list. But the truth is that he has not justified the cult following that he has on the San Antonio Spurs. He may eventually be a great point guard, but right now he's got the love of an all-star. His career high is 24 points. He's bad at shooting threes, but the Spurs gave him a 4-year, $64 million extension before the season. Now, I know there's a ton of potential, especially on the defensive side, but a knee injury sat him all of last year. But he was easily the most hyped Spurs player before this season, but it only took Greg Popovich about 13 games to pull him from the starting lineup. He is a cult hero instead of an actual basketball hero for the Spurs. Number 5, Lonzo Ball. I wonder why he got so popular.
1, 2.
Was it because of something he did on the court?
Lonzo Ball is going to take the Lakers to the playoffs his first year.
Or maybe some crazy stuff he does off the court like Dion Waiters.
Guess what the story is now? Who's better, LeVar or Michael Jordan?
Nobody think about no damn LeVar.
Yes, they are.
No, Lonzo Ball has an insane cult following, people who watch his every move, mainly because his dad is the crazy mattress salesman of the NBA.
If you find a mattress at a better price, I'll kick a puppy and punch a kitten just for you.
To be clear, he has amazing vision. He is a really good transition point guard, which worked well on the Lakers, who were playing really, really fast, but he doesn't really handle the ball well in the half court or score a ton, which is kind of confusing for a point guard in the NBA in 2019. He's basically the most popular, really good bench player, and that makes no sense. Cult hero number 4 is Alex Caruso, and this is where it gets really fun. You knew this list was made for a guy like Caruso. Popular because he's a 25-year-old balding white guy who plays really hard and dunks on people. There are not too many of those in the NBA, and that makes him a fan favorite. The reason he's not number 1, 2, or 3 on this list is because we can actually justify his popularity because the dude can ball. First, in college, he became Texas A&M's all-time assist leader. In the NBA, he went from undrafted to the G League to a 2-way contract to a regular rotation spot. He earned a roster spot on the Lakers because he can actually hoop. Now, he's NBA Twitter's favorite meme. The NBA is scared for the Alex Caruso era. Maybe because they drug tested him after being so ripped. Pics of him dunking on Michael Jordan. Basically, he's a legend. Number 3 is Michael Porter Jr. Here's another YouTube sensation that's done what in the NBA? In 14 games, he averages a little over 4 points per game, under 3 rebounds per game, and under 1 assist. Before 2 back surgeries, Porter Jr. was the number 1 basketball recruit in America. And again, people love the who's next thing. Talking about sitting all of last season, he said, quote, "I should have tried to pay attention more to the little things. It's tough. That's what I tell Nuggets rookie center Bull. Like, take advantage of not playing. Try to learn, see how the NBA game is played, because I really didn't take advantage of it like I should." Whatever the case, his cult following were angry when he didn't start until 5 games in this season. Nuggets still ain't played Michael Porter Jr. How's he supposed to compete for Rookie of the Year? Just trade him already. Nuggets, I've been waiting a year to see Michael Porter Jr. So I ask, what? I cannot stress this enough. One day he may justify all this popularity, his cult status, but we haven't seen it yet. Number 2, Boban Marjanovic. A lot of you thought he was going to be number 1. Because everyone loves Boban. But why exactly? I mean, he's not a great basketball player. He's a career 6-point per game guy with 4 rebounds, despite being 7'4". And what's hilarious is I'm gonna get a lot of hate in the comments for saying that Boban is not a great basketball player. Listen for the crowd chanting for Boban on the Dallas Mavericks to come into the game in Mexico.
Of course, everybody wants to see Big Boban.
There are chants for Boban here in Mexico City.
Dude, again, they love him in Mexico. The cult of Boban has found it all the way to a country where they don't even have the NBA. And the reason is his personality. He's a 7'4", kind of funny looking, happy-go-lucky dude.
Merry Christmas, Pistons fans.
He genuinely seems happy and grateful for his shot in the NBA. Plus, he can do stuff like this.
Okay. Because you don't see a steady diet of it. How about that? That was pretty.
But our #1 cult hero in the NBA is Tacko Fall. Here's why he's #1. He's got the cult following of Boban without the personality. What the hell? I mean, people chant for Tacko.
This kid.
People dress up like a taco, but his personality is like this.
I mean, since I came here, obviously they had a specific program for me, try to get my legs stronger.
He doesn't exactly jump off the screen when he's talking. That's because he's a 7'6" nerd. In a good way, like billionaire Steve Jobs nerd. In fact, Tacko Fall said that he only went to UCF so he could become an engineer. He would rather be Steve Jobs than LeBron James. But I'll bet you not a lot of people know all that about Tacko Fall. Literally, they just see a dude who's that tall and they're obsessed. It makes no sense. At 7'6", he is 1 inch shorter than the tallest guys who have ever played the game, including Manute Bol. And right now, Tacko is playing well in the G League, but as soon as he gets called up, the cult following of Tacko will yell at Brad Stevens to put him in an NBA game. So I'm sorry if I offended anyone with our top 10 cult heroes list. It's just that people love these guys mainly because of their potential, they kind of look funny, or they have an interesting personality. Basically, they get the love of Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, or LeBron James without being actual NBA superstars.
Support AM Hoops and click subscribe. Don't miss a weekly NBA video.